Hey, welcome back to Crimes and Closets. This is Beth in my closet in North Carolina.
And this is Christy in my closet in St. Louis.
Good morning. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Monday to you too, and Memorial Day to all of you wonderful people listening right now.
Yes. So we want to be depressing for a minute and talk about the tragedies that have happened this past month with these mass shootings that are going on. In Buffalo, New York, there were 10 people. Is that correct?
I think.
Who were shot in a grocery store. And then just recently, we had the 21 people in the elementary school in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We just didn't want to not say anything and just go about our Monday and we, not let you guys know that we know about it and that we're sad about it, heartbroken about it. And we are mourning with you and the rest of our country and the world. And our thoughts and prayers go out to these families that will never be the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's nothing political. It's nothing like that. This is just as humans, regardless of what your whatevers are, these were unnecessary tragic deaths, and we are here for change, whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm. Amen, sister.
Amen, sister. So there we go. Whew. We did that without crying, so that's good. So
I'm shocked. I'm shocked about that, actually.
I know.
It's been so freaking heavy the last couple of days. Because clearly, yes, you're hearing this on a Monday, but we're recording this on Thursday, and it's just been a couple days since the recent one. And so it's like weighing on our minds.
Yeah. Yes, and it is not supposed to be this way. And so what are we going to do about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we can all do something. I think there's something we can all do. So there's our challenge to you on this Monday, on this Memorial Day. And yeah, we love you guys. We love you.
Yep.
And we're here for all of you. So what's new other than that?
I don't know. Nothing.
Here's summer.
I know. It's almost here. We both have fifth graders that are going to be middle school.
Yeah, sixth grade.
Holy cow! Next week, I should have brought the little paper over. The things that they are doing at our school for our fifth graders next week, it's amazing. Well, so first of all, Friday they're going on a field trip to this kind of Dave and Buster's kind of place.
Fun.
And then they have them off on Monday. Tuesday they're doing a graduation type thing, and so we'll go to that. And then afterwards they're having a party in the parking lot with food trucks and whatever. And then Wednesday they do a kickball tournament, I think.
Dibs. I want to be in a kickball tournament. I was amazing.
Right?
Kickball. Okay.
Yeah. It's going to be so fun. I mean, we can't go watch. It's just for the kids. But then they also have a food truck coming that day for their lunch period. And then Thursday is a half day or early dismissal because it's the last day. And they have another food truck coming for the fifth grade, and then they'll have it there for the parents and siblings to purchase if they want to, and they're doing a parade.
How cute.
A car parade. And we have part of the committee to do swag bags, so they're all getting a sweatshirt and pajama pants that have longhorns or whatever on it, and then the back has a picture of a longhorn and all their names are in it.
Oh, that's cute.
It's the coolest thing. I was like, holy cow, I love this school.
Yeah. Ours is doing similar things too, as far as graduation and the parties and the food, and no kickball though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, I really love kickball and dodgeball was my jam when I was
I used to be in a kickball league in Florida.
That's what I was going to say. Is that a thing for grownups? Because I swear to you, I think we should have a party in the summer and everyone play kickball. Adults.
Mm-hmm.
Well, kids can play too, but I'm be aggressive.
Oh yeah, and the kids will get too hurt. They might have to have a kid game and an adult game.
Yeah, I'm totally going to bring this up to my group.
Yeah, legitimately, when we lived in Florida, my friend Heather and I we were in an adult kickball league every Tuesday night we would go, and we both joined a random team and became friends with those people and would go out after, and it was fun.
So stinking fun. I am really here for kickball.
Yeah.
I love it.
So,
I haven't thought about it in years, and now I'm not going to think about anything else.
You're playing kickball today, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm going to call my friends.
We were just playing kickball in the basement last night.
Oh my gosh. So great. Where can I buy a kickball? Hold on. Let me BRB. I got to get on Amazon. Get some bases and a kickball.
It's one of those old playground balls.
Yes, the red ones.
Hurt when you.
I want one of those. I don't even want a nice one. I want the old OG.
Heck yeah. So,
all right. I loved it. Okay.
Fun.
So that's all that we have. I'm doing a low country boil over Memorial Day. So that was all. Mm-hmm. So we have crawfish getting delivered from Louisiana.
You guys are so fun.
Crawfish and shrimp.
Is the shrimp coming from Louisiana too?
Yeah, because they season it. It's like a party bag. And so a low country boil has crawfish, shrimp, that sausage starts with an A. Andouille sausage. Mm-hmm. And then like corn, little potatoes, and onions, and like a bunch of Cajun seasonings. And you just put it all in one pot and you cook it, you boil it. And then when it's done, you just dump it on the table.
So it comes with all that in it?
It comes with, yes, you can get the party bags from this company that has all of it in it, but we didn't. We just got the crawfish and shrimp because we can get the sausage and the corn and the potatoes locally. And because we're in North Carolina, so we have like all of it is like legit sourced locally. And our sweet corn is so good in North Carolina. So I wanted it from here.
Okay. Fair enough.
So we just got the crawfish and the shrimp.
Got it.
With the seasoning.
Nice.
And they overnight it. Well, hopefully, because that would really suck. If it gets delayed in Georgia, like all my other crap. I feel like that always happens to me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Oh my gosh, how fun. Well, cool. Enjoy it.
Thanks. There's that. And now, would you like to talk about a crime?
Not really, but I know we're going to.
Well, okay. Then just put your pants on, hold on to them, and let's go. This was suggested by our listener, Stephanie.
Do we have more than one Stephanie? Because I feel like there has been a Stephanie before.
Yes, we do. I'm sure. Okay. This is Stephanie S.
Okay.
This case will be a bit shorter than some of our most recent ones. It does not lack in drama, though. So don't worry. Okay. It's very shocking.
Okay.
A lot of talk about domestic violence in this case. So if that's disturbing to you, please be aware. This is the case of Za'Zell Preston. I had never heard of this case, and there is a TikTok.
Za'Zell.
Preston. Beautiful, right?
Write that down. Yes.
It's a beautiful name. It's ZA''Zell.
Oh, I forgot the apostrophe, and I added an E at the end because, Zell. And when you Zell someone, it's got an E at the end.
We always Zell each other. Okay. Za'Zell Dominique Preston, who was affectionately known by her loved ones as Zizi, was born September 5th, 1985 in Orange County, California. She is a sweet Libra.
I was going to say, I don't know what anybody is but myself and you.
Yeah. So my mom and my daughter are both Libras.
Oh, okay.
So that tells you, and they're all like that. They're just sweet people. Her parents were Larry Preston, who has passed away, and Za'Zell Preston Williams. And she had 2 sisters and 3 brothers. Za'Zell is described as having a loving heart, that she was full of hope, and that her arms were always wide open with the possibilities to love.
Oh.
Za'Zell was a talented dancer, an aspiring model, and she was very beautiful. Very beautiful. In all her pictures, she looks so kind and happy. And her name rhymes with gazelle, which I feel like is very graceful and beautiful. And that's what I think of every time I say her name. Za'Zell had 2 daughters that she had with a man that the relationship did not work out. So she was not with her daughter's father, but she was a very loving mother, and she started dating a man named William Wallace.
Okay.
Does that remind you of anything, William Wallace?
For some reason, like when you said it like ding, but I have no idea what the ding was.
It was Mel Gibson's character in Braveheart.
Oh, that's not what it would have been for me. Because
really?
I don't know that I have any memory of Braveheart except for painted faces and like
freedom.
Yeah, that's all. That's my only memory of that.
William Wallace. This man is no Braveheart, this William Wallace, let me tell you.
Okay.
William was a dock worker, and he and Za'Zell moved in together in Anaheim, California, with her 2 daughters. Sadly, William and Za'Zell had a very toxic relationship, and William was extremely abusive physically to Za'Zell. They were definitely in love with each other and had some amazing times, but the abuse was really bad. And it's like, I just kept thinking the whole like old saying, when it's good, it's really good, but when it's bad, it's really bad. I think that's probably exactly how things were for them. The abuse was well known to everybody, Za'Zell's family, her friends, and it went on for years. Their entire relationship, he was abusive to her. William was arrested several times and served several stints in the clink as a result of his assaults on Za'Zell. He was often drunk when he would abuse her, but not always. He was just hot-tempered. He was he was really mean.
That's so sad to me that it's like it lasted years and so many people knew, and that she just didn't have the help or the means to leave.
Yeah. There's one instance where Za'Zell called a family member from the bathroom of a convenience store that she had escaped to and was hiding from William because he was brutally assaulting her.
My gosh.
There's another instance where William had beaten Za'Zell so badly that she was found by a family member outside of their home on the ground in the fetal position, unable to move.
Oh my goodness.
So like when I say it was bad, it was bad.
How has he just not been incarcerated for longer than?
Well, he was several times, but he would always get out. And it really is sad because it's just one example of like an amazing woman who is being abused. She's broken down so severely that she feels like she cannot get away. She's caught up in the cycle, and it really does get like and we, people say it all the time, like, why don't you just leave? Why don't you just leave? It gets a vice grip on you, and you don't even understand it. You don't know how it happened or how it's continuing to happen, but like you're so defeated that you feel like you can't leave. You can't get away.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Was there any reports or incidents that he hurt the kids?
So no, thankfully not. I obviously can't say one way or the other for sure if he ever physically hurt them. There's no reports of that anywhere. And I really was like on high alert looking for that. Now, living in the home with this man and all this abuse that goes on is extremely abusive and, is going to take a serious mental health toll on these children. But as far as I don't know if they were physically hurt, there's no reports of it. Every time William would abuse Za'Zell, she would want to leave, but she would feel stuck. And then William would come back begging for forgiveness, making promises that he would change and be better. And Za'Zell would take him back. She would stay. I heard a statistic one time that said an abused partner will attempt to leave their abuser an average of 7 times before they're actually successful.
As soon as you started saying that sentence, 7 was what came in my head. So I've read that.
Yeah.
Too. Like I've heard that.
Yeah. It's just phenomenal. But that's an example of how like you're stuck. It's a cycle. It's really hard to get out of these abusive relationships. The 2 of them never got married, but they lived together for the entire time they were dating. And she called him her husband and listed herself as married on her Facebook, but they weren't ever actually legally married.
How long were they together?
It's not 100% clear, but I think it was like 4 years or something like that.
Oh.
Like 3 to 5
I was going to
years.
say, is there like a common law
Oh,
marriage
I don't know
thing?
if California has that or not. But either way, I don't think they were together long enough for that.
Yeah, that's not long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So during their relationship, Za'Zell actually went back to school to be a domestic abuse counselor,
Oh,
which
wow.
I think is absolutely amazing, but it is also heartbreaking because it's almost like her saying that even though she can't help herself and get out of her abusive relationship, she doesn't want others to suffer what she's going through. She
Yep.
really seems like such a hopeful, like compassionate person, you know, and that she was just like taking all of her trauma and being like, well, it is what it is for me, but I don't want other people to have this life. She was scheduled to graduate in January of 2012. In 2011, Za'Zell became pregnant with a baby boy with William and was due in November of that year. Also, sometime in 2011, William was arrested again and sent to jail for abusing Za'Zell while she was pregnant.
Oh,
I'm not 100% sure, but I think this was the time that she was found on the ground in the fetal position. But I'm not 100% sure, but those connections were made in a couple articles that was the same incident. William was scheduled to be released in July, and an order of protection had been put in place to keep William from Za'Zell. But on July 29th of 2011, Za'Zell posted on her Facebook, quote, "I am so happy my husband is home. Thank you, Jesus."
Wow.
So she took him back, and William came back to live with her and her 2 daughters, and she's pregnant also. So I read through a ton of Za'Zell's Facebook posts and looked at a lot of her photos. They're all still there. And in those, she does seem like she truly loves William. Like she looks so happy. There's pictures of them kissing and like heart. She's drawn like heart things above them. She posts pictures of her and him like with her big baby belly, and she's gorgeous and she has this big smile. And it just seems so sad because it seemed like she wanted so badly to just be happy.
Yeah.
And she really wanted this life that unfortunately she just didn't really have. Okay, but then in August of 2011, which was just a few days after William was released from prison and moved back in, the tone of Za'Zell's post began to change. So she posted, quote, "No matter how much you think somebody's going to change, things get worse. And when someone has no respect for you, they never will." Then she posted, "Bye to my friends. I'm done with this life. It's my time to go."
Oh, no.
So, oh my gosh, in the comments on that are like her friends, like sending her Bible verses and like trying to encourage her. And it's just so sad. And okay, then in October of 2011, she posted, quote, "Please pray for my husband. I'm going crazy. I'm worried. I can't sleep or eat. God help us."
Wow.
So these are very alarming and they're very dark, and what could be interpreted as things escalating or getting worse, or is she being threatened? You know, we don't know what his mental stability was, but things were not good. Za'Zell did give birth to a healthy baby boy in November of 2011, and her Facebook page goes silent. So I don't know if they've taken down things that have happened after that or were posted after that, or if she just truly didn't use Facebook anymore.
Right.
So that brings us to December of 2011. Za'Zell was 26 years old. She was still living with William Wallace and her 2 daughters, who were 3 and 8 at the time, and her newborn son, who was 7 weeks old. Za'Zell had recently gone on a shopping trip with a family member or some family members, and she had confided in them that she actually was planning to leave William. She was getting ready to graduate college the next month. She was going to start a career that she was very passionate about, and she was going to climb her way out of this toxic cycle. And they were so happy.
Right. Yeah.
On December 24th of 2011, Christmas Eve, Za'Zell and William went to a Christmas party at a neighbor's house. Everybody was drinking. They were drinking. And during the party, the two of them started to argue. So they left early and went home. And it was reported by the neighbors that they could be heard fighting and yelling like all the way home outside their door. I think they lived in an apartment, so the neighbors would have been very close, but I'm not 100% sure about it because it's not real clear in all the sources, but I think it was an apartment. So they went inside their home, the fighting continued, and it escalated. William was attacking Za'Zell. He was beating her. At one point, Za'Zell tried to run out of their home, and he caught her and dragged her back inside. I think neighbors were hearing all of this, but it was like normal, what do you do?
And kids are home?
The kids were home. The beating continued, and William pushed Za'Zell into a glass coffee table, and the coffee table shattered. Za'Zell's oldest daughter is woken up at some point by the fighting or the glass breaking, something, and William said, "You need to come over here and help me get the glass out of your mom's skin. Like, help me get all this glass out." Which
What in the
she's
world?
8 years old, which she did. She went to help him. And then he had her, the daughter, help him carry Za'Zell into the bathroom. And while he was trying to put her in the bathtub, he dropped her and her head like bashed into the toilet.
Oh my gosh.
And she just wasn't moving after that. William then had Za'Zell's daughter carry the mom back into the bedroom and put her in bed. And then eventually, she's completely shaken by all of this, but the little girl just went back to bed. I mean, Santa's coming. It's Christmas Eve.
Right. Was she babysitting?
Yeah, I don't know. That's another reason why it makes me think that they lived in an apartment, because I know that the Christmas party was at a neighbor's. So I don't know if it was just like next door and they lived in an apartment and it was just feet from each other. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, because I did that with my 8-year-old. I would leave the kids, go to your house when we lived there, because I knew he could get to me really quickly.
Right. 100%. But I don't know. They may have had a babysitter. I don't know. It doesn't say. Okay. The next morning is Christmas Day, like I said, and the kids all woke up and they're excited to open all their presents, and, Santa has come and there's stuff under the tree. So William brought Za'Zell into the living room and propped her up on the couch and put sunglasses on her.
Oh my gosh, I think I've heard this one. I didn't know the names though. Okay.
He told the kids that she was just going to watch them because mommy got drunk and ruined Christmas. That's a quote.
Oh, Lord.
He then proceeds to help the kids open their Christmas presents and is videotaping them. All the while, Za'Zell is sitting on the couch with sunglasses on, totally motionless. Eventually, at 9:30, a 911 call. 911. I'm okay. A 911 call came in, and I'm not sure who made the call. Some sources say William did. Some sources say the oldest daughter did. But either way, a call was made, and all that was said was that Za'Zell needed medical attention. So paramedics were sent out, but when they got there, they found that Za'Zell was cold. She was clearly deceased. It was very clear to them that she was past the point of any life-saving measures bringing her back. So they pronounced her dead and they called the police.
Oh my gosh.
So just to be clear here, the children were opening up Christmas presents in front of their dead mother.
Right.
Okay.
That is
I just didn't want that to be lost on anybody.
No. Oh my God.
Right? When the police came and saw this scene, this awful scene, they immediately suspected foul play. They began to search the apartment, which was in total shambles. There was blood everywhere. There was glass all over the place. The table was clearly shattered. There were holes in the wall. There were doors off the hinges. And Za'Zell was very clearly deceased with visible injuries. So William is immediately brought in for questioning. And he claimed that the two of them had been arguing and that Za'Zell had lashed out and bit him. And so he pushed her off in self-defense, and she had fallen into the glass table and gotten hurt. They went to bed, and that she must have died.
Does he have a bite mark? And what happened to the daughter carrying her everywhere?
No bite mark. And he said that he didn't realize she was dead until she didn't wake up the next morning. Why he carried her and put her on the couch,
Right.
I do not know. I guess he wanted the kids to still have Christmas real quick before they called.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Right.
William, whatever your name is. What is his name?
William Wallace.
I almost called him Wallace. Would have been right either way, I guess.
Well, yeah. So, like you said, Za'Zell's daughter's statement of what happened was very different than that. It was very clear that Za'Zell had suffered a severe beating, as well as all the evidence of like a knockdown, drag-out battle that had occurred in the home. So William was arrested that same day, December 25th, 2011, and charged with the murder of Za'Zell and was sent to jail on a $1 million bail. So he's not getting out. An autopsy was done on Za'Zell, which showed her cause of death was blunt force trauma to the head with multiple blows. So it was not just one. She did not just fall into the table and hit her head.
She hit her head on the toilet.
Well, he didn't tell them that. The daughter told them that.
Oh,
so.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So it's estimated that her time of death was around 1 a.m. So he like laid in bed with his dead wife all night. Oddly, William does not stand trial for over 9 years.
What the heck? Why?
In March of 2021. I have no idea. For the life of me, could not find any reports, no sources, no filings that would show why in the world this man stayed in prison all this time. He was in prison that entire 9 years. He did not get out. But like, he definitely did not get his speedy trial.
Right. That's what I was going to say.
I don't know why. I don't know if was his legal team's doing or just a system fail, or I have no idea. But what I do know is that that's a huge injustice to Za'Zell's family, her children. I mean, to have to live for a decade without anything that would be hard.
Right.
Za'Zell's mom, Seidel, became the guardian of her 3 children, thankfully. Okay, so March 2021, he finally goes on trial after 9 years. During that, he stuck to the self-defense story that they were fighting and that Za'Zell had gotten out of control and come after him, and he was just defending himself, and an accident occurred. She fell into the table. She must have hit her head and passed away in the night while he was sleeping. He did admit to having previously smacked Za'Zell around, which everyone knew to be true because the abuse was well documented. But he claimed that he did not murder her, that it was an accident. Za'Zell's oldest daughter, who was 18 by the time the trial was taking place, testified about the fighting and the abuse, and that she saw William hurting her mom and that he pushed her into the glass table. She told the jury about how she was asked to help clean the glass out of her mom and about William dropping her and her head hitting the toilet. And she believes that that was the fatal blow that ultimately killed her mom. She also testified about William bringing her mom's body into the living room on Christmas morning and being told that her mom had gotten drunk and ruined Christmas. And she remembered touching her mom and like saying, "Mommy," and her mom being cold and not responding to her. In April of 2021, a jury convicted William Wallace of second-degree murder and domestic abuse.
Oh, thank goodness. Second degree.
Because I think they were saying that the blow to her head when she hit the toilet is what killed her, and he didn't, like bash her head into the toilet, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can't prove that he didn't do that on purpose.
Exactly.
So
during the sentence, he was sentenced in June of 2021. So that went fast. So that's good. During the sentencing hearings, Za'Zell's mother gave a victim impact statement, and she said, quote, "He beat and tortured my daughter and at the same time mentally assassinated her children. He showed her no mercy. Let's show him no mercy." William was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison, but was given credit for time served, which at that point was 9 years.
Oh, okay.
So essentially, if he serves the minimum, that would only be 6 more years in prison.
Right.
He is still currently incarcerated in a California prison. So we have this young mother who suffered from years of abuse, aspiring to help others who were victims of domestic violence. She was beaten to death. She was murdered and then super disrespected by the fact that her body was brought into the living room on Christmas morning. These
Right.
poor children who were babies.
Yeah, no kidding.
They were 3, 8, and then the little boy was only 7 weeks old. And this is the last memory of their mom, is opening presents on Christmas morning and knowing now that she was not even alive.
Right.
I cannot imagine.
Ugh.
They obviously suffer from PTSD and, you know, I hope that they're getting help and counseling. And I hope that the fact that he was convicted and is in prison serving his sentence has brought them some type of closure, but I just can't imagine.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh my gosh. And the fact that he could potentially be out in like the next 5 years.
Right. Yep,
Ugh.
possibly. It's possible. He was a really bad man. And she was really, really seemed, oh my gosh. I'll send you her Facebook. I'll link her Facebook, but like, she just seems, she's such a Libra. She's like so hopeful. Even when all of this bad stuff is happening to her, she's still positive and hopeful.
I could only pray to be that kind of person.
I know.
Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. She was awesome. And that is the sad case of Za'Zell Preston.
Gosh. Oh my gosh.
That was a short one, right? Terrible.
Well, we've had a couple recently that are short, but I can't even imagine. I'm like sitting here like picturing Christmas morning.
I know.
And the kids sitting around all excited. And then there's just like this mom in a chair with sunglasses on, not moving.
And there's video of this. He videoed it.
Right. Ugh. And he knew she was dead.
100%. Oh yeah. She was cold dead. She had been dead for hours.
That's disgusting. Sorry. I'm sorry. My contact popped out in the middle of you telling that story and my eye. Oh. I keep rubbing my eye.
Are you crying?
I mean, I am.
It is sad. It's really sad. It is sad. So, but I think, I hope that, like I said, her kids are able to move on and make better Christmas memories.
Gosh. And so the youngest is only 10, like essentially, right?
Yes, he is now 10. So he never knew his mom. He was just a baby.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, and I read in one article, I meant to mention this just because it shows how like what a gross dude William Wallace was or is, that he said one time, I think it was to her mom when he was talking about how he was like, he would beat Za'Zell. Mm-hmm. Like if a woman can take a breath, she can take a hit.
Shut up.
So like he didn't even feel bad about the fact that he was so abusive.
This man needs to like stay in prison because if he gets out, I mean, I really hope that they like fight to keep him in, because if he gets out, he's going to do this to somebody else. Like maybe he won't kill well, he probably would kill somebody, but he's going to beat somebody else up.
Right.
He's going to be abusive no matter what.
And I do hope too, going back to your other point, that the kids were not physically abused.
Right.
They were definitely emotionally abused.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
So there you go.
Well, I'm sorry.
I had never heard of this story, and the headlines were insane. Like, man kills wife and props her body up on Christmas morning. That's like the headlines.
So, yeah, I recognize that part as soon as you started saying that, but I didn't know like names. I think I probably saw a headline somewhere sometime.
Right.
And was like, what the hell?
Well, she has a beautiful name.
Yes. Gosh. Well, I'm sorry that you had to look into that.
I know.
Even though it wasn't like kids, it was kid stuff.
Yeah.
It was kids.
Right. I know.
That's an awful thing to go through.
Yes.
For anyone.
Absolutely.
So,
anyway. And for such a long period of time too, that 9 years, like, whew, it's rough.
Yeah. Gosh. Anyway.
There you go.
Well, thanks for letting us know about that one. Thanks, Stephanie, for bringing it to our attention.
Yes.
And hopefully there's some sort of petition out there at some point to not free William Wallace that we can all sign.
Good plan.
At some point.
Good plan.
Yeah. So, because I'm sure it will be out there at some point when that time comes.
Yeah.
Anyways. Well, guys, if you want to keep listening to this awful, terrible nonsense, then, come find us again next week and share us with your friends. They are all awful. Can't promise that they're not going to be. So
it's what we do.
I'm sure they know that. It's what we do. And find us on social media and come chat with us. We like to interact with you guys. And go check out our merch. Might have some new stuff up there that you haven't seen before.
100%.
Yeah. And join our Patreon. Got one out there. Also in our link in our bio.
Yeah.
So
we're
do all the
very
things.
Bossy.
We are. Just do all of the things. Go now. You're not doing anything. You're listening to us. Go do it. Anyways, and always remember, the world is scary. People suck. Hide in your closets.